of my journey. But I just never dreamed it would ever be anything professionally or do it to a level that I do it now, get it out and encourage on such a big a level. My name is Tiona Campbell. I live in Houston, Texas. I grew up in a small town in East Texas called St. Augustine. My papa, he was a singer at church. My mom grew up singing. She pursued a country career there for a little bit when I was younger, and ended up getting saved and wanting to do it more in the church. And that's when she really developed the church worship at our small church in St. Augustine. And I would help, whether I'd play the tambourine or I would sing on stage with her while she played. My brother was a drummer. My dad was really good with the ear and sound, so he was the sound guy and leveling all the music out. Mom tried to teach me how to play the piano, got me music lessons. As a kid, I did not want to practice, so I did that for about a year. But I retained what I learned because now I play piano just very simple for songwriting, you know? And then 2 years ago, I learned how to play the guitar.
She grew up on the side of the road where the church bells ring and strong love grows. She grew up good, she grew up slow.
So, you know, I grew up in church, got married, put music to the side, and the first marriage was very mentally abusive. We were only married for about 3 years because it was just so traumatic and just completely killed my self-esteem. I moved to Houston at that point in my life to start over. I moved with my parents. I'm a single mom with 2 boys trying to start over. And I kept praying, God, like, I don't have to get married right away, but I just want to find that one I'm supposed to be with, be a part of me and the boys' lives, you know, our lives. And I don't want to date a bunch of people. Like, I just want to find that next person I'm supposed to be with. I mean, honestly, I think it was about a year that I met Chris, and we didn't date at first because we both had just been out of relationships. I just got a divorce. But it's so crazy. A year later, we meet. We instantly, you know, hit it off, and he's like my best friend, and everything's great. I have the 2 boys. I've got the guy that I always wanted to be with, my best friend, and life was perfect. Everything was perfect, but there was something missing in my life. My family's so supportive, but it was a little like blindsiding for, as well as me, them too, because get married very young, have kids, go through a divorce, very mentally abusive relationship, get remarried, have another kid, and then like from 17 to 35, this gift that I didn't know I had, you know, it was like for everyone, this is crazy. Like, you know, my mom wants to do what? You know, and write songs, and she's like, you know, in her late 30s, and like, what? And I knew there was a bigger purpose for God to speak to me about doing this at the age of 35 than what I was seeing at the time. So I just kept getting up there and kept doing it again. And I kept developing my songwriting gifts and kept developing my vocals. And eventually it got easier, but fear was huge. It literally paralyzed me in the beginning. So I've been doing this for 7 years, almost 8 years now, and it's so much easier. God has given me the confidence over the years. The most favorite part for me is being able to connect a lyric with someone in the crowd. I love people and I love to encourage people. So this has been such a beautiful journey of just trusting God and why He wants me to do this when I couldn't see it at first, to seeing now, like, it's the conversations I'm having, it's the light I'm being, you know, in that room at the time that is my purpose.
How can it be?
When I was 35 years old, that was when I first discovered, that God wanted me to write music. But I didn't know how to do it. And so I was completely terrified and didn't really know, what to do to get started. I picked a melody from a song I already knew and just wrote lyrics to it because I didn't know how to create a melody at the time. So the first song that I really wanted to produce was the scripture that encouraged me when I found all this out at such later in life. In Romans 11:29, it says, "Your gifts and callings are irrevocable." So that verse was so encouraging to me. It talks about how it's never too late to go after your dreams, no matter what your situation is, where you came from, how old you are, how young you are. My song, Southern Girl, is based on the prodigal son story in the Bible. I love that story in the Bible and how God just welcomes you with open arms.
Sweet as heaven in a wildflower sunset. Mama sings while her daddy hangs the moon. Simple and sweet, I could never forget. Catching lightning bugs in the heat of June. Southern girl, come back home.
I wanted to create a way to tell that story that maybe someone that was church hurt, that struggled with, going to church, that could hear the message. I wanted to reach more than people going to church. And so in my musical story, the Southern Girl is the prodigal son. And so it's a beautiful message about Jesus leaves the porch light on for you whenever you're ready to come home. It's just the beautiful message about, the city lights are calling you, but you're supposed to be here. Southern Girl, this is your place. This is where you're supposed to be. So it's just another way to get the message out that maybe people have a hard time hearing, because of things that they've walked in the church or they are afraid of the church, and never been to the church. I want to get the message out.
Southern girl, come back home. Darling, you've been gone for too long. City lights call your name, but you belong where it's crystal clear. Southern girl, you belong here.
When I wrote Forgiveness, there was a season in my life that I had walked, and it was really hard for me to forgive. And I'm a very forgiving person. I love people, but I just struggled. And so this song allowed me to walk through those feelings, journal these feelings, and then sing them. I forgive you.
I lay speechless, tears on my face, tears on my face. My heart is broken, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to say.
I talk about it a lot at Easter every year because that's the beautiful story, that God did on the cross, Jesus on the cross. So I talk about it a lot at Easter because it is hard for people to forgive. And everybody's story is different, and this song allowed me to heal. So I hope someone that sings it and singing the words, I forgive you, will bring healing for them too. One of my favorite lyrics in Forgiveness is, "Forgiveness free my soul, Jesus make me whole." Because that's what forgiveness does, 100%, is it frees your soul, from bitterness, from blocking any blessings in your life. That's one of my favorite lyrics, and I really hope that it, helps a lot of people.
I
a morning person, so I need a whole lot of Jesus. I need a whole lot of coffee, and that's the inspiration behind Jesus and Coffee. And it just talks about how crazy and chaotic your mornings can be, but if you can just get still and drink a little coffee and sit with Jesus, it just makes your whole day. It's just this beautiful message, and I think a lot of people can relate to not being a morning person, and the second verse is when you can't get that quiet time in, so you do it in the car on the way to work with some worship music, and so I love this one. A lot of people can connect to this one. It's called Jesus and Coffee, so it's a great message. Give me Jesus and coffee, 'cause I'm not strong enough on my own. No. It's been a very, very successful single that I put out a couple years ago and early on into my career when I started this. Back Porch is all about the family. Back when we were not able to get out, 2020, we were all on lockdown, and we spent a lot of extra time on our back porch. And we've got a porch swing and a fire pit, and we spent extra time. And I just wanted to savor those moments.
In the South, that's how we do it. Grab some lemonade and head on to the back. Daddy's gonna do some grilling. Turn that music up, I hear some Rascal Flats. We're making those memories last. Time flies so fast. We're savoring these moments we have, 'cause these things will pass. Oh, on the back porch, swinging to the wind. Oh, on the back porch, moonlight that never dims. Late nights, laughing so hard I can barely breathe right now. Wishing on stars, dreaming with you is where I want to be. Oh, on the back porch, swinging to the wind. Oh, on the back porch, moonlight that never dims.
We do a lot on the back porch. Sometimes we get in the back and Dad tells us old stories, that the kids have to hear. I've written songs on the back porch. I don't know what it is about the back porch and the fireplace and the porch, but we just talk. We talk about the day. We talk about, the phones are not, out when we're on the back porch. We literally put our phones down and just talk, and just that community with your family and your kids, your teenagers, is so hard to find now, for them to put their phones down and just talk about things that they are curious about or have questions about, whether it's faith or life or their friends. We have the best conversations on our back porch.
Moonlight that never dims.
Got everything. Here you go. For our worship. Scenic route is honestly, it first started with my husband complaining about me always taking the scenic route home. And I'm like, that's it, I'm writing a song about it. But it became this beautiful message about how we want everything right now. And we want our dreams to happen right now. Maybe we're building a house and we want it built right now. Whatever it is, we don't have the patience to enjoy the journey. We want to rush through it and get straight to the end. And it's just that beautiful message about the longest way around can be such a beautiful thing, to always take the scenic route in life.
Don't be so focused I'm getting there way too fast, and your life's a journey. You might as well enjoy the path. The longest way around can be such a beautiful thing. The longest way around can be such a beautiful thing. Sunset view, wind in my head, windows down, feel the cooling. Always take the scenic route. Yeah. Hands up now, feel the music. I've let go, hair is blowing. Always take the scenic route.
The funny thing about Scenic Route is it's played quite a bit and a lot of people listen to it. So they know my song and they know my music. It's always like when they come to a destination where I'm at, they're like, I took the scenic route. You know, it's become this playful thing about they recognize the lyrics enough that they want to take a scenic route.
Don't be disappointed. Life is full of ups and downs. Just reach through the sunroof and let go of all your doubts. The longest way around can be such a beautiful thing. The longest way around can be such a beautiful thing. Sunset view, wind in my head, windows down, feel the cooling. Always take the scenic route. Yeah. Hands up now, feel the music. I've let go, hair is blowing. Always take the scenic route. To all the people on the feeder road, where you're missing out. 9 to 5, it ain't no lie. Baby, roll your windows down. Sunset view, wind in my head, windows down, feel the cool air. Always take the scenic route. Yeah. Hands up now, feel the music. I've let go, hair is blowing. Always take the scenic route. Always take the scenic route.
I do have one song that I don't have out, but I feel like I'm supposed to just share it to people as I feel led, and that's what I've done. Is I had a lady reach out to me and said, I really wish you would write a song about when people lose someone and the grieving of it. And I told the lady, I was like, I've never experienced that, so I don't think I could do that authentically. And then some time passed, and the more that I thought, it was like, you know, I've never experienced this type of loss. And it's scary to know, like, I don't know how that would feel. And that became this constant fear of mine after, you know, feeding on those thoughts of like, I don't know how I would handle grief. And one night I had a dream that I'd lost my mom. And for 10 seconds, I felt like the heaviness. I couldn't breathe. It was like I physically couldn't catch my breath. And it was so heavy and so hard. And then I woke up and I was crying. And I was like, that's awful, you know? And it's like, God let me feel it just a little bit. And then I'm not taking away anybody that grieves and like I know how it feels, but it was just enough to be like, okay, this is what it's like. This is how it feels, you know, and just to give me a little bit of peace about it. And I instantly had to write a song. I had to write a song about it. And when I feel led, I will share the song on social media. And every time that I do, I get a message in my direct message inbox saying, wow, like I cannot believe, you've never experienced that and you described it perfectly. That's exactly how it feels. Your song helped me so much. It gave me peace. I literally just shared it a couple weeks ago and the same thing happened. It's just crazy. So I feel like it's one of those songs I'm supposed to share as needed. And so that one's not out. It hasn't been produced, but if you dig long enough in my social media, you'll find it. I've been doing this for about 7 years. I have about 75 songs out, which sounds crazy, but I feel like I should have a whole lot more. But not all of them get produced, and a lot of them just stay in my journal, and it's just developing my gift, or maybe the song was for me. But I do have some new music coming out. Again, it's always about an intentional message for you. Giddy Up is a song coming out, and it's about getting on that horse and taking the reins and going after everything God created you to be, because sometimes life is hard and we fall off that horse, but you got to get back up and you got to keep going. So that's a beautiful message I cannot wait to share with you.
Problems, worries, sadness. Are you seeking solutions?
Bible says,
Do not be anxious about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Choose faith over fear.